Hello again friends and loyal Wolfpack members, Chaos here and welcome back to Elite Dangerous 2.3. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Raider ship kit for the Asp Explorer. And what better paint job to do this on than the pirate paint job. Just to go and see what this would look like. Because I have actually been asked to go and do this, so that's what we're going to go and do. Okay, so the same as with the Raider kit for the Cobra Mark III, we have only got 3 pieces per section. Whereas the other standard kits for the ships have 4 pieces each as well. But again, as with the other Raider kit, we do get a bunch of different paint jobs as well. And another thing I've been asked to test is actually whether or not the corroded paint jobs are actually going to look any different with the other pieces to the kit. So that's what we're going to have a quick test of now. So we're going to have a look at the bumper piece and just see what these look like. Well, it just goes and looks like all of the pieces are actually just going to show up as black. So let's set this one and just go quickly check through the corroded colours. Now I suspect it's going to be the same on all... Oh, it's not the same on all of them. Although some of them do... Or maybe it is the same on all of them. I'm not sure. It may be bugged, I'm not sure. But it definitely doesn't look as it's supposed to, as we can quite clearly see here. So maybe this is going to get fixed in the future, I don't know. But it really is a bit of a letdown that these pieces don't actually, well, these paint jobs don't actually go and synergize with the previous pieces. Unfortunately, this is a little bit of a missed opportunity. And you know what, after a couple of tests I had to end up going back to the white paint job because the pieces just did not show up very well. So let's go and have a look at what we get in this kit. The first one is going to be this one with a couple of spiky fins and just extra added pieces on that have been bolted on. And some extra pieces up top. I wonder if we're going to get anything down the bottom, so let's actually go and have a look a little bit closer. So here we go, looking at this from a bit of a different angle, we can actually see that I add some more pieces off of camera. So some more of those extra little containers off to the side, little cylindrical items, along with quite a few extra little additions up top. Now as you can see, absolutely nothing here is symmetrical at all. And this one is not as spiky as the Cobra kit. So it just goes to show that there is a little bit of variation. Now I'm curious as well as to whether or not we're going to be finding anything extra on the underside. And so far it would appear as though we're not. Now the second piece is this one here, and this appears to have less spikes, maybe some here, I'm not sure. But let's go and have a look. It seems to follow kind of the same thread as the second piece from the Cobra kit. And having a look around, it reinforces what I was thinking. It looks to be almost the same pieces, just moved around on top of this ship. We've still got the fins at the back. We've still got the 2 little bull horns at the back. We've also got what looks like some extra... Well, we've got what looks like... Here we go. Some bypass work being done on the ship. And this actually looks kind of interesting. Again, we've got the bullhorn spikes there, which I suspect its counterpart is going to be over on the other side. Yes, there it is. It is right there. So it looks like these pieces have almost been reused off the Cobra ship. Again, it looks like we've got some more bypass work going on this side. So again, this is kind of interesting. Now, I don't think there are any pieces underneath again. No, it would appear as though there aren't. And the last piece is obviously the super spiky. Now, as seems to be a constant theme here, some of these pieces do seem to have been almost copy-pasted from the Cobra ship kit. This is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you like those pieces. But these ones have definitely been placed in a very different arrangements. Then again, this ship is a lot bigger than a Cobra. So let's go and see if we do get pieces on the underside again. We haven't so far on any of these, so I don't suspect we're going to here. Anyway, at least for the tail section. Now, personally, out of all of these, I actually kind of like this one on the Asp Explorer. It seems to fit with the flow of the ship just a little bit better. Plus, I do like the bypass work that they've had done on the sides of the ship. So that's the one we're going to go for. Moving on to the wings, we're going to go and have a look and see what we have in here. The first one is going to be this one. So this is going to be, again, almost a carbon copy of the Cobra. So let's go and put this on and have a bit of a closer look. Now the pieces aren't exactly the same, but they are very close. Again, we've got the added underslung containers on here. What exactly they're being used for, perhaps capacitor storage, I don't know. And we've got the same over on the other side, but we've got nothing up on the top for this one. We do have some extra little fins being bashed on and on the side there, and we have got the spikes coming out at the front there as well. So again, making the ship look a little bit more Mad Maxian. Moving on to the next piece is going to be, again, it's very similar to the one from the Cobra kit. So again, we're going to go and get a bit of a closer look. Now, I've got to say, overall, I kind of like the look of this one again. It's not exactly a carbon copy of the one on the Cobra. In fact, it's got a few extra pieces, at least on this side. We've got extra little containers here arranged in a very interesting looking kind of way. I'm wondering what that is supposed to be. And let's just quickly zoom around the other side. And here we go. We can see something similar on the other side. But again, it's not quite the same as the one on the Cobra. It's similar, but it is different enough. Now, moving on to the last of the wing pieces, we're going to go and have a look at this one. This is, again, the extra spiky one. And having a look at this as well, we can see a lot of spikes being swept back on this one as well. Although there does seem to be a good amount more on the underside this time round. Because if I remember rightly, there weren't quite as many on the lower side on the Cobra. Now this one does look kind of interesting. And it just makes it, like I said, it makes it look like Sonic the Hedgehog on steroids. Alright, so out of all of these ones, again, I'm probably going to go for the second one out of the bunch. Just because it adds all the extra containers on there and it's not quite as spiky. So let's go for that one. Now, moving on to the tail, we're going to go and have a look at this one now. Now, the original kit did not actually come with any tail pieces for this, so I'm curious to see what these are going to look like. The first one is interesting, but it's kind of clipping with the one that we've already got up there, because we've already got the two little kind of fins here, but these are just adding extra little shielding pieces, so shielding this hatch maybe away from the engines potentially. I don't think we really need to go and have a bit of a closer look to this one, because this one does seem to be pretty straightforward. We can see that this one's actually been strutted up over here. And yeah, it just looks like they've just grabbed some scrap metal to make some heat shielding maybe. The second one is going to be this one. Now this is kind of interesting, because this looks like it's actually being bodged on and attached to the engine nacelle pieces here. So let's actually go and attach that one on and go and have a closer look. But it also looks like it is clipping a little bit as well, because I do believe this is actually supposed to be the piece that actually goes and fits with this set. So why it's clipping is beyond me. Now, having a look close up at the offending piece, yes, it is in fact clipping through. So I'm starting to think that this particular kit isn't quite as well finished as it could be, although it's not terrible. I do like the extra pieces coming off over the back on this. We have got a few little spikes. Potentially we could actually just go and do without the spoiler section for this, and it may end up actually making this look very interesting anyway, although I would actually be missing out on my little bypass work, which I really like there. So it's, I don't know what we want to do, but again, we're getting extra fins being added on, more bits being bolted on here. I mean, this side doesn't seem to clip as much. Some of it does, but it kind of looks like it kind of could have just been welded onto that piece anyway. This one here is a very obvious offender, but it's not like you're going to be spending a lot of time looking at it, at least. And moving on to the last of the tail pieces, and it's obviously going to be the super spiky one again. But this one doesn't seem to be clipping at all as far as I can tell. So this potentially seems like the best one to fit with piece 2. So we've got the spiky sections down here, we've got a spiky section down the middle here, and more here as well. So having a closer look from the top, we can see that no, there is indeed no clipping issues here. And, oh, I didn't spot that to begin with, and that is the little addition on the side here. Didn't spot that in the preview window at all. So that's nice as well, so that adds even more width-ways dimension to this as well. But I do like this in a way. It really makes the ship look like it's going fast. It almost looks like it's got like little spiky speed lines coming off the back of the ship. That is kind of cool. So out of all these tail pieces, I'm actually going to go and stick with the third one because it has no clipping issues, whereas the other two in fact do. Especially piece 2 here, which really is kind of bizarre for me because this is supposed to be the matching piece to this spoiler section. Now finally we're going to go and move over to the bumpers. So let's go and have a look at what we've got in store here. The first one is going to be, oh look, it's the roll cage yet again. I love this. We've also got what looks like some big hammerhead-ish style fins coming off the sides as well. Some bodged on extra armor plating here maybe. Maybe even a heat radiator or something, I'm not quite sure. Again, we've got some bypass cables going up here and over here. So this is a bit weird though, because this little section up the top, this little what looks like an opened panel, doesn't correlate to anything actually on the ship at all, at least as far as I can tell. It looks like this piece was specifically made for the Cobra and just copy pasted onto this ship. So, having a look from the outside, we can actually see that we have in fact got 2 large upward facing fins. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what I think of those. I'm not the biggest of fans of that. But as we can see, especially here as well, like the piece that I was drawing attention to, there is no corresponding panel on this at all. It's just been added on top. But we do have other pieces as well, such as this little addition here, which is not bad actually for me. We've got a couple of little spikes up the top, the little hammerhead kind of fins that I'm not that keen on, but it's really going to be a delicate balancing act with this though, because I really do like these roll cages. Again, we've got spikes coming off of this and a lot of reinforcement around this, but it also looks like you're going to be seeing this roll cage almost from both seats. So both crewmen are going to be able to see this, so this is actually kind of interesting. Okay, so moving on to the next, and that's going to be this one. So again, it's going to be the one with the 2 cages, and these items, which are again are basically copy-pasted from the Cobra, although instead of actually being placed in the centre, they're off onto the side now. So again, making this even less symmetrical. We seem to have some fins at the top and maybe a couple of spikes at the front. But again, let's go and take a closer look before passing judgment. Having a look on this one, we again still have the spikes up the front, but the fins are in a very different space. We've got this one on the side here. So again, passed over onto a hammerhead kind of look. And something here which looks like maybe extra lighting or something, or maybe some kind of improvised weapon launchers. I kind of like that actually. And some more fin spike struts and so on here. We also seem like we've got a few extra little weird little fins up the top. So this one seems to extend fairly high up on the top of the ship actually. And again, the last of these ones is actually going to be these. Wow, that was a bit more spiky than I was expecting. Okay, so let's go and get a bit of a closer look at this one. So yeah, that is a lot of spikes. Wow. Yeah, this really looks like a very uncomfortable ship. Wow, that is a hell of a lot. And in fact, it's kind of interesting the way it's all been added together. So yeah, I think we are actually going to go and stick with this one and basically pass over the roll cage. Now I really wish that the roll cage had actually been brought over onto this one, because those big fin things that popped out of the side here, that just really killed that particular piece for me. But you know what? We're actually going to go and swap out our pieces and just make this like a super spiky ship. So there we go, look at all that. We just got so many spikes on this thing. I think we just had to do it at least once. So what we're going to go and do now is we are going to go and have a look at how this would look with the different corroded paint jobs as well. So corroded 1, again, these are still looking a little bit low res. I am hoping that this is a bit of a bug at the moment, because it has been confirmed by other players that theirs are also low res, so it's not just me. But there have been a bunch of paint jobs that do look low res in the game, but they then were later fixed. So we've got corroded 1, corroded 2, we're going to go over to corroded 3. It's a bit too pale for my liking, this one. Corroded 4, I actually like this one on this one a lot more. Corroded 5, yeah, I don't like this one as much because you can really tell the low res detail on this one. And then corroded 6. Yeah, out of all of these, I think corroded 4 is going to be the best. That's actually 5. Here we go. This is 4 now. I think this is the best out of all of them. Now, again, with the decals, we can go and see just what these would look like. So, again, let's go and see what it would look like here. Again, these are actually going to be fine. And I only just recently realised that these are actually mirrored. Cool. But yeah, no, the PCs, they do seem to work quite well. So we can go and add the skull decals up front. Let's go and do that. Right decal, I'm thinking we can go for the Archon Delane Kumo crew. Let's go for a big X. Why not? Just because we don't want to have the same thing on everything. We want to look less symmetrical. And as for the name of the ship, we're actually going to call this the Goram Reaver. Great little reference there. But we're also going to go and see just how this particular setup goes and looks with our... Look at that, it doesn't actually go and clip over any of the pieces or under the pieces. So we can literally just go and put whatever we want here. Now, I'm thinking we're actually going to go for this particular pirate one. Now, we could go for the black and we could go for the white, because the grey doesn't really show up. But I think the white is probably one of the better ones to go for, because I just like how it stands out. Nameplate 2, we are going to go for the same. And this one does actually get kind of clipped over a little bit, but it's not terrible. And it just looks like something that would happen. Now, the ship IDs, we'll go and see where this would actually go. That's really big and over the side, so we're not actually going to bother putting those on at the moment. Again, we could go and put different things. We could even put the grey one on there to make it look like the... Let's actually go and put the grey ones on, actually, to make it look like it just hasn't been looked after at all, and they've just faded off. So yeah, that kind of looks nice, I think. So overall, I'm really liking the look of this so far, but I think it's about time that we took this out and had a look at this in a little bit better of a light. And here we are, the Goram Reaver in all her beauty. In all her very, very spiky beauty. Now, it has been said by another viewer that all that these ship kits are missing are some ragdoll corpses hanging off the ship, which would really go and fit the Reaver aesthetic. Now, the question here is, do you think that this ship kit is worth a buy? Personally, I think that the super spiky one is really worth it for this particular ship, at least if you're having it with this particular setup. It's kind of abundantly obvious that the vast majority of the parts on this kit were designed on the Cobra and then kind of just copy-pasted over onto this ship and just placed into positions where they would kind of look almost kind of right. So some of them just don't feel as well made as they were on the Cobra ship kit. But that may just be my view, but I don't think it really is. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. But like I said, I think this is actually kind of worth it for the particular kit that we have here. I really do kind of like this one. But like I said, let me know in the comments whether you think this kit would be worth a buy. Are you going to pick one up yourself? Have you already? What do you think about the individual pieces and its kind of build quality? Like I said, let me know in the comments. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. But I've been Commander Chaos War from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.